Hey everyone, it's Kasey from Kaseyplans and Kasey's Reading Recs. I am here to film my What I Read in June with you guys. The air conditioner is what it is. I am always hot and I need the air conditioner or this video is not going to be very fun for anyone. So I read 14 mostly incredible books in the month of June and I wanted to share them with you because yapping about books is one of my favorite things. So we're gonna do the Kindle ARC reads first. First up, I have Faye Marked the Wished by author A.J. Knight. This is a pauper prince, I Hate Everyone But You. Really, really good story. I really like the magical elements, how their magic calls to one another. I think this story is done really well. I will say this is a bit shorter than I thought it was going to be. It's only about 100-ish pages, so I do think it's considered a novella. However, that does not mean it was not 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. I wanted more though, so it couldn't get a 5-star for me because I wanted to experience more. I wanted more from these characters and just I needed a part 2. The prince renouncing his family, renouncing his magic, choosing her was beautiful, and I needed more of their story, if I'm being honest with you. So definitely check this out. There's a whole series of them. I only read this one, but they are standalone, so you do not have to read them in order. Next, I read Queen of Vengeance by Jessica Jude. This was a 6-star read. I was generously selected for this ARC team, and once she dropped the tropes and a description of Slate, who is the male main character, I know I was going to eat this book up. This book does deal with some serious topics like a drug-addicted family member, drug dealing, kind of the wrong side of the tracks bad boy, but this book is 100% worth the read. I cannot recommend this book to you enough. I think you will really, really like it. It's kind of like a Gossip Girl-ish, where she's I'm just gonna put the phone down while I yap about the book. She's a socialite. He is a biker bad boy. Their worlds kind of connect when she needs a favor from him, and they end up, of course, falling in love because don't we all know that opposites 150% attract. I really liked the story. I like the friend group. So this is an interconnected standalone book 2 in the series. I had not actually read the first one. She generously gave her ARC readers the first book, but honestly I just did not get to it. But I definitely will read it before the third one because, surprise, I'm on the ARC team for that one. So I can't wait to read the third one. I can't wait to see whose story it is because it follows a friend group, and I always really like that. I'm a huge interconnected standalone person. I like when we can see different characters come up in the books, not necessarily be the main person or involved, but I like when we can see that in books. Next, I read Silverbow by Noelle Parker. Y'all, this was a 5-star knock it out of the park fantasy romantasy read for me. I'm gonna read this. Okay, look at the beautiful cover. I was randomly in a Facebook group for ARC readers and authors to connect with one another, and I had commented the books I like, and she replied to the comment and said, hey, I'd love to send you a copy of my book. I think you would really like it. So I was like, yeah, of course, let me check it out. I'll read, review it. That's what ARC readers do, right? And I fell in love with the story. This is a really unique fantasy world, and I really like not only the magic system but the multiple point of views. There are so many point of views in this book, which is something that I don't think a lot of authors really do. I like it. It can get a little bit confusing at first, so this is a book that I would recommend you really take your time with because you're going to get a little confused, like me. No shame. It has nothing to do with the author. I just think when there's so many people involved and multiple POVs, especially with a high fantasy book, I think you need to take your time in reading it because you will get confused, and that's not on the author, that's 100% on me. So what I did was in my reading journal on the page for this book, I kind of was making notes, ended up needing another page, so I just took a blank page of graph paper and kind of just wrote everybody's names down, some little tips and tricks so I could honestly remember them. But Silverbow was 5 stars. I'm on her street team. I cannot wait for the second one. I also read Sword of Vengeance by Chris Adams. Moment for the beautiful cover. I was connected with Chris very much in the same way that I was connected with Noelle. He randomly responded to a Facebook comment. This piece of hair is like, can it just be back? Now we got him over here. Just the humidity is, okay. He responded to a Facebook comment that I posted, and he was like, hey, I'd love to send you my book. This is more high fantasy. So think Brandon Sanderson, George R.R. Martin, J.R.R. Tolkien, high fantasy, not so much about the romance. But this book was still really beautifully written. I enjoyed the world building aspect of it. I liked the characters very much, and if there is a book 2, I would really like to read it. I don't read a lot of high fantasy anymore. I read, when I was in like the 7th and 8th grade, I consumed the Lord of the Rings books. I consumed the Game of Thrones books. Probably shouldn't have been reading those in the 7th and 8th grade, but that's why I'm here now. But this reminds me of that, where it's high fantasy, high stakes, and I really liked the book. So I would recommend you pick it up. I did rate it 5 stars. Different than Silverbow because it's not that romantic, the romanticy aspect, but however, I still really enjoyed the book. Next we have A Crown of Deceit and Ruin by Jessica Willis. Give a cover for this, or a moment for this absolutely stunning, gorgeous cover. This book, I read the tropes. So this is another arc that I got. I read the tropes. It's a Rapunzel retelling. Hold on, I read the tropes, and I did not expect the book to be as good as it was. I rated it 5 stars. Very good romantasy book. It is a Rapunzel Persephone, like, retold fairy tale book, but that is not like a fair description. It does have those elements in the fact that the female main character grows up in a tower, very sheltered from the world, but it is like that and beyond. So this is a sapphic romance, which the 2 female main characters do end up kind of discovering some feelings for each other towards the end. Very slow burn, and from what the author has said, the spice will continue throughout the series. The slow burn in this is so good, and the interactions between the 2 characters is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this book. It is out now on Kindle Unlimited, so I would really encourage you to pick it up if you have not, or are at all interested in like a Rapunzel or Persephone retelling. The book is really good. It has a really cool world building, a cool magic system, and I would really recommend it. The characters are so fun. I like all the side characters, but it's the 2 female main characters that really drive it home for me. So I can't recommend Crown of Deceit and Ruin by Jessica Willis enough to you. I have 2 more Kindle books. So this one is The Paradise Hookup by Christy McKellen, excuse me. This is a 1-bed open door spice. Essentially what happens is the female main character breaks her ankle, ends up at her twin's apartment. Her twin and the male main character, Jem, work together on a small startup, so forced proximity right off the bat. There is some very interesting family dynamics in this story. I liked hearing about Dee's father and how he doesn't really value her over her sister. Jem's family dealing with dementia with his mom, losing his parents, having parents pretty, his parents having him pretty older in life. I thought that was really interesting for a book, especially one that was so short. I only think this is like 100-something pages. Again, I don't know if that's considered a novella, but it was a very quick and short read. Honestly, the book was okay, but it happened so fast because there was only 100 pages. Hold on, sorry, but everything happened so fast because it was only like 100-something pages. So if this had been like a 300-page romance that was more fleshed out, I think I would have liked it a bit better. I did rate it 3 stars. The spicy scenes were good, but everything happened so fast. I just wanted her to like slow down a little bit, give us like just a little bit of a breathing room, and then jump into everything. So not a bad book, but you know, if you want a quick, beachy, spicy summer read, it's the book for you. And Finally, I received an arc of Green Flag by Evelyne Sperring. This is a motocross sports romance, or a motorcycle racing sports romance. I've never read one before, but I actually really enjoyed it. So this is a second in a series. Not series, but in a world. You do not have to read the first one to understand it. They're definitely interconnected standalones, which I prefer, but wow, was it good. The female main character, there's some grooming of her ex-boyfriend in the like sports, the storm sprint world, her, you know, boss's daughter, sports romance, some forced proximity, fake dating, which I always love when it is done well. Really enjoyed that book. I also enjoyed the mental health and the physical, like the female main character suffers from psoriasis. I thought that when characters have real life ailments, medical illnesses, it just makes the book so much more real to me. I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I will definitely read the other ones in the series. Actually already picked up the first one on my Kindle, so I'll definitely be reading that. Highly recommend you pick it up. I did rate it 4 stars. Yeah, definitely recommend you pick it up. Now, I'm gonna set my phone down. Let us get into the physical books. So we're gonna start with All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. This was a book that my book club picked out. This is a crime thriller set in the, I think it's Virginia, and the main character, Titus, is the first black sheriff in Sharon County, Virginia. This follows a school shooting. This does deal with some very heavy topics, but this is something that everybody should read. The racism, the way it's handled, this book is so well done, and coming from a white person, I think this should be required reading. If this is the first S.A. Cosby book that I have read, but if his books continue to read like this, I'm gonna eat them all up, because this was absolutely fantastic. I did rate it 4.5 stars. I took it down half a star because some of the slow parts were a bit slow for me, and I don't love that in a thriller, but the writing, there was a scene where some pork chops are being made and you can like hear the sizzle, smell the food. This book just is so well written, and I really cannot highly recommend this to you enough. If you are a fan of S.A. Cosby, if you like true crime thrillers, if you're just into thrillers in general, this is one that you should definitely add to your reading repertoire. I believe I got another S.A. Cosby book in my book of the month, so I will be sharing that in a haul, and then once I read it, I'll share my review. So, All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Again, can't recommend this to you enough. Then we have my girl, Meghan Quinn, Till Summer Do Us Part. This follows Scotty and, what is his name? Wilder, Scotty and Wilder. So we have fake dating. Essentially, Scotty works at this golf, like, distributor. I really don't. It doesn't matter. And all of the people in her workplace are married, except Scotty. So they're going around talking about things, and Scotty's like, oh yeah, my husband and I are having issues, whatever. So her boss sets her up with her husband, who is a marriage counselor. So they go to this summer camp that the boss and the boss's husband has set up, like a marriage retreat. Of course, they end up falling in love, crushing it, and look at these beautiful edges. I got the Barnes & Noble edition of this book. And I love Meghan Quinn. She does spicy rom-coms so well. The cover is stunning. I rated this 6 stars. I love Meghan Quinn. And one of my favorite things about Meghan Quinn is that she does have, this might just be in the Barnes & Noble exclusive, but there are illustrations. Let me find you another one. Oh, I just passed one. But there are illustrations in these books, which I always appreciate. Come on, there's a lot of them. Why can't I find one? Oh, here. This one is fine. No, not safe for work. But if you like a spicy rom-com, fake dating, forced proximity, very spicy, this one is for you. I love Meghan Quinn. I can't say enough good things about her. She's one of my auto-buy authors for the rom-com spice. Love this. Next, we have A Bargain So Bloody by Vasilia Drake. I was selected to be on her street team, and I loved this book. So this follows Raphael and Sam. And Sam is a prisoner at Greymere, or she's a prisoner in Greymere, and Raphael is brought into Greymere. You know, he's a vampire. She discovers he's a vampire pretty early on because she is selected to kind of feed him, right? So the guard, who's an asshole, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but whatever. So the guard, who is not very nice to Sam, selects her to kind of take care of him. Well, Sam asks Raphael if he can get her out of the prison, which of course he does. They are mortal enemies, but they do end up becoming allies. She soon discovers that Raphael is the prince of the vampires, and he takes her to her homeworld where she discovers some things that she does not like. I love this book. The magic system is awesome. I love a vampire paranormal romance. I haven't read a good vampire book, honestly, in a really long time, so this one is fantastic. Book 2, the cliffhanger in this, my jaw was on the floor. This book is so good. Pick it up. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I got the paperback because I needed this for my shelf, but you need to read this. I really cannot recommend this book to you enough as well. Then I started the Boys of Tommen series. We have Binding 13. This follows Shannon Lynch and Johnny Kavanagh. Shannon is your typical meek girl in school who is really bullied by her peers. I cried throughout this book. She meets Johnny when she finally gets to transfer to a private school, where Johnny goes and is this big rugby star. This book is so beautiful. Chloe Walsh does sensitive topics so well, and the friend group in here is amazing. Shannon really flourishes at Tommen, but she gets beaten by her dad. School is her safe space. The edges are beautiful, but school is her safe space. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't want to hang out with her friends because she knows her father is waiting for her at home, and her mom just keeps having children. Again, abusive cycle relationship, but Johnny is her safe space. Johnny is her saving grace, and the father takes it way too far. And the end of this book, if I didn't immediately have the next one, I don't know if I could have waited, because the ending of this book leads beautifully into Keeping 13, which I'll talk about next. This was a 6-star read for me. Shannon and Johnny are couple goals, and the emotional maturity that these two both have at such young ages is truly something that I think should be celebrated. This book is a must read, must read. Their story continues in Keeping 13, where they do get their happy ending. I'm not going to spoil this for you, but essentially Shannon and Johnny do get their happily ever after. Shannon's family gets their happily ever after, but what happens to get them there is heartbreaking, emotional. Like, this book wrecked me. I was in a puddle the whole ending of this book, like the middle to ending of this book. Like, Chloe, I don't know what you put in here, but you got the sauce, girl. You got the sauce, because this was absolutely fantastic. I had Binding 13 and this one, and I'm so glad I had both of them, because like I said, I could not have lived without having both of them. They were truly so fantastic. So Boys of Tommen 3, Keeping 13, another 5-star. We then get into Saving 6. Saving 6 follows Joey Lynch and Aoife Malloy. Joey Lynch is Shannon's older brother and like best friend, I would say. This takes place before the events of Binding 13, where Joey is in, I don't know if it's in Ireland, so it's like primary school. I don't really know, but this book, so good. I love Joey and Aoife's like, I hate you too, I don't love you either, like, so cute. But again, deals with really heavy topics. Joey struggles with drug addiction, and Aoife is trying to save him, hence the Saving 6. I have not continued the story, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't know if I'm emotionally ready, but I think in August I'm going to try to read the next 3 books in this Boys of Tommen series. I gotta be honest with you, this book itself was not my favorite, but I am told that the next book, which is Redeeming Six, is like a 17-star read, so I am excited to get to that. And last, but certainly not least, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This was such a cool gothic fairy tale book. Oh God, like Rachel Gillig does it like no other. Like, look, so this is the first in the Stonewater Kingdom book. Here is a map. I love when books include stuff on the inside, and like Rachel, I don't know what you put in your books, but the One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns trilogy or duology was one of my favorites that I read last year. This book is so cool. It deals with like dream walkers, knights, finding yourself in a kingdom, and I ate this shit up. I think I couldn't stop. 4.5 stars for me. The side characters in this are so good, so I would recommend that you pick this up 100%. And that's everything that I read in June. Thank you all so very much for watching. Thanks for yapping about books with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!